Hello. How's everyone doing today? This is Sandy from ledouxdesigns. And tonight, I decided to go a little different route tonight. Um, we're going to actually create a small scrapbook page. Um, so I'm going to use this stamp set called Touchdown. And I'm going to use something from the MVP sticker sheet. I'm going to use some of the ephemera. And then I'm going to use these Sassy Club dies to do my sentiment on there. Hello, Evelyn. And you guys are going to get a little bit of a sneak peek into my past. How fun is that? Hi, Janine. So this is the closest color I have to maroon. It's a little bit more purple than maroon, but maroon and white were my colors. And it's kind of all I have. It's the closest I have. So we're going to drive with those colors in mind. Trying to fix the lighting just a little bit for you guys. But I was a cheerleader when I was in school, so I thought I would do this. Even though we were the kangaroos, I wanted to do the cheerleader. Maybe later I'll do one with the kangaroo from the other set, from the MVP set that has the basketball player on it. And so maybe I'll do a second one later. But just as a sneak peek before we get rolling, I printed 2 pictures because this is going to be a 6x6 scrapbook page. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Janine. So these are 2 pictures from a long time ago, so don't laugh. But this is me in my cheerleading costume, and I was going to make a little page. The coloring isn't great on the pictures, but they're old, so, that's just the way it goes. So I'm going to do that, and then I want to put the high school and the mascot with these little die cuts, which we'll do in a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to layer those up. This set is from Sassy Club, so it is double layered to begin with. So when you cut them out, I hope I have them all. Those 2 go together. That one goes together, that one goes together, that one goes together. And I didn't pull out the other 2, so that's unfortunate. But we can pull out the whole set and grab the ones that we need. But they're double layered. They're from the Sassy Club. Upside down. So sorry. And so I need to find... I put them in this bag because it's just a little bit easier that way. Here's the R, I think. Yeah, that's got to be the R. And then I need the O. So that's not the O. That's probably something else. That's D. Oh no, maybe this is... I don't know. You guys, maybe I shouldn't have taken them all apart. Because now I'm just kind of guessing. Oh, here it is. It's got to be that one. And then I just pick them up and match them up when I'm ready to use them. I can store them a little easier this way. So I tend to use them a little more often. And that is what I'm rolling with that. So I wanted to do a whole little page, and I might even put this in my craft room since I don't really have any pictures of me in my craft room when I was, young. I don't really have any of me at all, but that's beside the point. Thank you, Barbara. And hello, Rebecca. I've been thinking about you lately. But there's some good sentiments on here and the cheer megaphone, which I think is really cute. And there's some other pieces. So we'll make that part in a little bit. We have to color our little tiger here, but since our colors were maroon and white, I'm going to do the tiger in white and the rest of it in more of the maroon color. So that's my plan. It'll kind of give you an idea. Here it is on the package, done as like an orange tiger with gold and pink. But I think this time, just because the pictures have a little bit of a kind of like a tint to them, I think I want them to look a little bit, I want to take the orange out so it looks a little better and stick with the maroon and white. So I'm going to, for my white, I want it to be a cool white. So I'm going to stick with the C's at this time. But I'm going to pull out several of them. And then I'm going to pull out the colorless blender. So I'm going to go with C32100 and then the 0 for the skin. I want it to have pink in the ears, and since I'm going with such a light skin, I'm going to do the R11, which is a really light pink. And then I need my maroon color, which I need to do, I know what color I would normally use for maroon, but I'm going to do a little bit of matching because even though it's not truly maroon, this is more of a purpley maroon. And it's okay because it matches the pictures. I think what I'm going to do is try to match to that color versus matching the maroon. So I'm thinking I need a little bit of an RV in there versus just using the R89, but I'll have to see which one. Yeah, I think we need that little bit of purple in there. Let's see how the RV99 versus the 69 is. See, that one's really dark. That might be really good for the darkest color. And then I also want to put in the R59 because I feel like 59 kind of falls in that same category. Not quite as purple, a little more maroon. And that is not a bad thing. But when you go to R56, it kind of starts going into a mauve color. So I'm kind of thinking we may need them mixed together to get the color that we want. That might be a little bit too light. Maybe that 66 isn't going to work for me. So I may have to play with it as I go through the colors just to see how, you know, and adjust as we go. We had several outfits when we were each year for cheerleading. We had 3 usually. So this one was once it got cold outside, we wore the sweater vest, and when it was hot outside, we wore this one, and then we had another one that had a big K on it because we were the kangaroos for KHS. So, we had several costumes. I didn't have a picture of the third one handy, so I don't have that one. But I think most of, even though this outfit was white, this one was maroon, so that we're going to go with the maroon outfit for her. So I'm going to use RV99, RV69, R59, and R56 for my colors, and it will match the pom-poms and the megaphone that are in the ephemera set. So, were you at Killeen High School? Yes, I was, Evelyn. I was. I graduated from Killeen High School, actually. Yep, I was a kangaroo all 4 years. So, yep, I sure was. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit so you can really see me color up this cute, cute, cute little girl. So I'm going to start with the white so I don't pull any of the reddish colors into the the color of the tiger. But I'm going to choose the R11 to put some in the ears to start with. You know how I always do that under so we can cover it up a little bit and it's not so bright. But this one's a little dull colored anyway, so I'm going to do like the tongue. And then I'm going to do some on the nose, so she's going to have a little pink nose. And then I'm going to stop at that for now. Awesome. I worked and retired from the district. Oh, wow, Evelyn, I didn't know that. Yes, I was a kangaroo. Yep, I lived in Killeen the time I was in 2nd grade until I went to college. So, yeah, it's a small world. I know that Aunt Ellen Ellen from Crafty Ho-Ho, she went to Killeen High School one year as well. So I'm just going to add some of this C3 in the shadow areas. This little tiger's going to be a little more grayish than white, which is okay because we sometimes used black and gray on our white as well. When we were building signs and such, we would sometimes add black and white, so it would come out gray on occasion. This little tiger would have a hard time putting her hair up. We had to put our hair up all the time. So this tiger would be worn out from trying to do that. Now, I know you can't see that real well unless I hold it up and zoom it in so you can really see. See how we've added some of that C3 around there, but we do want to keep it pretty light. So, I don't think I can zoom in anymore. I'll try. Maybe one more time. Nope, that's it. That's all we get. That's as close as we get. But I'm really just putting it underneath, like where the shadow would be, under the face, under the arm a little bit, and then under the chin, around the arm. I remember when we used to pick the uniforms. It was fun, but it was also frustrating because so many people wanted this one or that one. It was quite a challenge to make all the girls happy and the parents as well. So I'm going to do underneath her skirt and down the inside of her leg. I'm going to go ahead and do these this middle stripe right here in white as well, and I'll make the rest of her socks maroon. And then I remember we usually had our shoes were white, but we had a little bit of maroon accent, so I'm going to go with the center of the shoe white as well. And then the other part we'll do in the maroon. And we'll do the soles of the shoes with a darker blackish color in a little bit. So you guys are kind of quiet. Thank you for joining me tonight, though. I really appreciate it. This is C2. So we're just going to extend a little bit from where we did before because C2 is still a little darker than I want her to be. But I want to get a little bit of this gray in there, just to show some depth and such. So I'm just putting it in a few little places just to give that effect. And then extending from wherever I put it the last time. Her stripes will stay black, so that part is easy. And then this stripe on the sock, I'm just going to do that. I'll come in with the colorless blender in a little while and fix that up just a little bit. Just going to do a couple of little brush strokes down here at the bottom. And then I'm going to move to C1. It is a quiet night. I just came from watching Lynn cut her KCC 20. Oh, I should have been watching that. Sketches. Oh, I need to do that. I still haven't figured it out yet. But I said I would try it this month. Oh, thank you. So I need to get on that. I'm going to put a little bit of this inside the ear. I'm not going to touch the pink just yet, but I will eventually. But I am going to start doing like around the outside to get that color in there. A little bit in the stripes. Just starting to build in this color. There we go. Under the chin. Just going to start filling this in. This is such nostalgia right here, let me tell you. I really did love cheer. It was so fun. It was some of the funnest times I had in high school. I really did like cheering. I did drill team for 1 year, but it just wasn't my thing. So I switched. I switched to cheerleading my sophomore year. My sister was on the drill team, so I thought it would be something I would like, but it just, I don't know, it just wasn't me. So I think I'm just a little more outgoing than that. So I switched. All right, I'm going to use the C00 to finish most of the coloring, and then I'll go over anywhere I want it to be lighter with the colorless blender and move the ink around a little bit. But for now, I'm going to use the C00 just to kind of finish getting a little bit of this gray in there, because I don't like it to be just white like the paper, you know? I like it to have a little bit more oomph. There we go. And then on the shoes as well. So tell me, how many of you scrapbook as well as making cards? Do you do both or do you not? My to-do coloring list includes purple and pink. Oh, nice. Dragons, purple and pink dragons. That sounds fun. And I finished my July set, and they are all Christmas cards, so I have my cards done for Christmas. Oh, Barbara, that's great. That is great. And Janine, you do both? I do both, too. I don't do scrapbooking as much as I used to, but I just finished an entire scrapbook, baby scrapbook for my niece who had a baby. I told her I got her all this stuff for it because I just don't think they do that as much as some of us did before but when they're young ones, they don't tend to scrapbook quite as often. So I bought her this stuff, and then I said, you can do it or I can do it. And she was like, you can do it. So I did it. There we go. Now we have the white on there, and I'm going to do this up close so you can really see it. Oh yeah, I try to do that. So you can see, you'll be able to see it a little better when we get the maroon in there, but you can see a little bit of the white. It's enough to kind of make her look a little more alive and less flat.
Siberian tiger.
Yeah, like a Siberian tiger, like at the casino. And Rebecca scraps and card makes. Ah. And I got my, Rebecca, I got my, my picture thing from Doodlebug Designs that you made me. I got it all framed and up now, so I'm excited about that. I think I'm going to start with the RV99. There's the lock. Okay, so we have to do some white in the pom-pom, so I'm going to wait on those and we'll do them in just a little bit. And I think I'm also going to put some of the trim in white. I just haven't decided how much of it yet, so I'm going to decide that as I go. So I'm just going to put a little bit inside this bow and along the bottom of the bow. We had lots of bows when we were young. I don't see people wear bows quite as much as they used to, but I definitely want the outside trim to stay pretty dark. I do it in white, but I don't want it to be white against white. So I am going to make the skirt white, I think, with the maroon trim to it. So we're going to do inside these pleats as the maroon color. And I'm just making it the darkest because it's in shadow. And then I want to do the socks. Just a little bit on the socks for now. And then we want to do a little bit on the shoes. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move my finger so you can see. On this one. There we go. And I'll do the pom-poms last because I got to really focus on them when I do them. And then I want to add, Nicole, you also scrap and card make too, huh? Yep. I love it. It's fun. But that's what this is going to be, a small scrapbook page. I think I want to put white behind the maroon, so I only made the page that I cut, I only made it in 6x6, so I can accent up the rest of it, you know. So I think I'm going to leave that darkest color off of the shirt. And I'm going to start with this second color on the shirt. And I want to do it kind of around wherever the pom-poms are because they're casting the shadow. Since the waist is part of the skirt and we're going to make the skirt white, I'm going to not color that part in. But we do need to have this like almost like purpley color added to our maroon just so that it matches the paper. Even though it's not truly maroon, it's the closest. I don't want it to look like it doesn't match the background I made, so I need to have this little bit of purple color added in there. Just for an undertone of purple. Now, I also want to do the stripes, like one of the stripes or a couple of the stripes in the burgundy, but I want to do the white first. So I'm going to have to go back to the white and then come back to the maroon. So our 59 is next, and this one is more red. So I'm just going to do around the outside of the bow with this one, and then I think I'll finish off the dark trim around the shirt in this color. And then I'll start adding this color in on the shirt. And it should be lighter, so you should be able to see the variant between the sleeves and the shirt. So that's why I didn't use all the same colors on the shirt at the same time, so that it'll show separated. Oh, I almost did the skirt. Oh, that would have been a mistake. Okay, around the outside down here, I'll leave a little bit more for that last color. Then the back of the shoes I'm going to finish off, and the front I'm going to leave just a teeny bit for the last color. Just like that. Alright, and then I'm going to use R56 to get it a little bit more maroon. So this is the last color that I have pulled for my maroon combination. Maroon-ish, almost more like a wine color. is what we have here. I'm just doing that because I didn't have any true maroon paper. So I'm just rolling with the wine-ish color. And I think it came out pretty good. It's got enough color variant in it to really be good enough for the maroon and white idea. I mean, that's what I was going for, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to finish the socks. We left one stripe on there on the socks in white, although it's a little hard to tell because the tiger is white. But I may use the white gel pen, if I remember when I get it out, to make that stripe more white so it stands out a little better. So I think that'll help. Okay, I'm going to go back to our gray colors so that I can put some basis inside the pom-poms before I put the white in there. So I think I'm going to go with C1. I'm not even going to put 3 in there because I'm going to use the maroon for the darker colors. So mostly what I want to do is come in from the outside edges and just put a little bit of color in there. And I'm going to do it on almost all of them. This will give them light tips, and then the insides will be darker. So going this way. It's just a little bit of this color. We don't even need a whole lot. But doing the white first reminds me not to go all the way to the edge, so I don't get too much maroon in there before I have my white. So I just kind of went around just the tips of each one of the little edges. And you can do that kind of quick because it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you get more in there than you want, it doesn't matter because the maroon's going to cover it up anyway. So I'm just going on all of them for right now. I'll cover them up if I need to. There we go. And then we want her skirt to be white, but I want it to be a little lighter than the tiger, so I'm not going to use the 3, I'm just going to use the 1. And then I'll use the 0, 0 to blend it out. So I'm going to do this bottom piece of the skirt, the very, very bottom piece. Now I'm going to grab my C00 and I'm going to blend this down to the line, just like that, and then across the waist. And then I don't think I'm going to... Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, I have my phone on silent. So sorry about that disruption. So I think I have all of the white on there that I want. So now I'm going to switch back to the maroon again. And I think I'm going to start with the RV69. Oh my gosh. I don't know how. Here, can you do it for me? Hey, Cheryl. Okay, so I'm not going to use the darkest one, the RV99. I'm just going to use the RV69 for the pom-poms and the rest of the skirt. So I'm going to start in the center here and build out the darkest color. Some of them I'm just going to put one little line. Some are going to be thicker. Some are going to be thinner, just because I want it to look a little bit scattered. So I'm kind of just putting, I'm not really filling it in or blending or anything. I'm just kind of putting a stripe all over the place to kind of get it mixed up. I want you to see almost like, I don't even know how to describe it, but almost like a mixed color of pom pom. Like, because they were a lot of strips of different colors mixed in together when you actually had a pom pom, or ours were like that anyway. So that's what I'm trying to give the appearance of. I think it's kind of getting there, so I think it'll make sense. Hey Drea, hey Ellen. So we're doing for those people who have popped in later, we are actually doing a scrapbook layout tonight for from my high school. So yes, there are a few pictures of me when we get to that part, and then we're going to build the cheerleader around it because I did cheerleading, and then the mascot and all the colors. And this is the closest color that I had in paper. Was a little bit on the purple side, a little less on the maroon side, but I want it to match the paper, so that's why we're doing it with this little bit of RV69 in there. So that's the plan tonight. There we go. Now we have to start, I want to do both of these stripes down here in the maroon color as well, but the lighter maroon color. So I'm just putting a little bit on each side. And then her skirt will stay white as well. And I think the trim will give it that really cute look. I think instead of pulling out black, I'm just going to use the RV99 to do the soles of the shoes because I feel like it's dark enough that it'll just kind of appear black, and that's fine. It'll match up, so it'll be fine. There we go. All right, and then next we're going to go to R59. And we're going to feed some of this R59 in our pom-poms as well. This one is a little more on the red side. And I'm going to kind of try to do it on the sides of where I put the other color in, just to give it a more variation. I like color in these pom-poms. I don't know why, but I just do. I just think they're fun. And you could mix two different colors and they, you know, not just white, but different colors. And I think they would look super cool. So we're just adding a little bit more in here just to give it that mixed look. And then the other one, same thing. I think because around the edge of the skirt is so, I want it to be lighter. I'm not going to use this color. I'm just going to go straight for the next color on that part. And I am touching sometimes and sometimes not because I'm trying to keep the little brush strokes thin and kind of jagged because it's never smooth. Pom-poms are never smooth. Now we have the white in there, so we don't really, I think I'm going to leave I'm just going to go in with this color towards the center a little bit, but not towards the edges. Remember, we already did the edges in the white. So we're really just using this color to kind of blend that together. We do want it to look like there's still some white on there. So I'm just kind of randomly putting it in there. I don't want to blend. I want to still see those separations, almost like we do when we do hair. we want to have that little bit of separation we can see. And I think I'm pretty good with that, except this one spot looks really, really white. So we need to tone that a little bit. And I think I like them like that. So we're going to stick with that. I might put some white gel pen in them if I think about it when we get the white gel pen out, just to help with the looking more white. And I think that'll really, if we do some scattered little lines in there, I think it's really going to make a difference. But having some of it left white really helps with that next step. I hope everyone is having a very good beginning to their week. I've just been doing a lot of work, which is not the fun part, but trying to get my craft room back in order after the little minor repairs I had done this past weekend, and trying to get everything organized and back where it's supposed to be. So it's a little bit, and work is a little bit crazy. There we go, and this worked magically just the way I wanted it to. Light enough to see that there's 2 stripes of maroon there around the bottom of the skirt. I like that. So I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I think I want to make her nose a little darker, so I'm just going to go over her nose with the pink one more time, and a little bit on her tongue, like in the back, just in the back. And then I'll use the colorless blender again to mix that so the tongue doesn't look funny. There we go. All right, I like that. So I really like her. I'm going to hold it up so you guys can really see. Hey, Phyllis. So you can really see the color more clear. But see how the pom-poms, they're just very stringy and very scattered. Oh, we need to do her eyes. So I would say blue, because, well, my eyes, they sometimes look blue and sometimes they look green. So I think I'm going to go with a blue-green color. So let's try, let's do BG09, and I'm just going to do it like at the top here on the edges of the eyes. It's not a big spot. You don't have to do a whole lot. And then I'm going to finish with BG49, which kind of makes it look a little bit on the teal side, but very pretty blue. And then I'm going to take that G00 that you know I like to use on my eyes. And I'm just going to run that back and forth a little bit to kind of lighten up this one area so the eyes look glassy. And it lightens it a little bit. So it gives it a really pretty color. And I'll show you what that looks like up close. Look how pretty those eyes are. So pretty. So I printed this one. I printed this image actually off my computer. I didn't stamp it. So the black is black. It's a really good color. So I'm just going to leave that the way it is. I don't have to do the eyes like I normally do with the black multi-liner. So that's super great. I'm happy about that. And since we're going to do a little bit of work to prepare for our card, I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit on her. Like, I'm just going to do this really light, like sketchy white within my pom-poms to kind of lighten them up a little bit. Just a little bit of sketchy white in there just to kind of get them looking a little bit more like what I intended. And I like how that looks, so I'm going to do that with this side. And I'm just tossing in a little bit of that white. It just kind of makes it mix them together a little bit better. Like it, I like it, I like it. on her shoes. I'm going to put a little bit on the tops of her shoes, and then we're going to kind of go along this stripe in the socks so it stands out a little bit better than it does right now. And then there we go. I think I'm going to do her eyes too, because it just makes them pop a little bit more because it's a little bit poofy when you put the ink on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there as well. So now we have our little girl ready, but she is wet with the white, so I'm going to set her aside while we work on the scrapbook page. So I want to do the letters. I'm going to use my mini maker and my plates, and I can cut a lot of these at one time because my plates are so long, but I need to have KHS, and I think I want my letters to be the burgundy and my background to the letters to be white. So I'm going to need to cut the paper. So I usually just take this, put it on top of here, and then trim the paper so I know it'll fit on here, and then that way I can cut all the way along that paper. So I am going to have to cut more than once, not a bunch more than once, but since some of the letters repeat, I have to cut them more than once. So there's my KHS. And then we were the kangaroos, but we always called ourselves the roos. So this is RO. So I'm going to have to cut another O and an S in order to make that work. I probably shouldn't have put it so close to the edge, but we'll see how it does. We got a second shot. If that doesn't work, yeah, too close to the edge. I'm going to scoot those letters down just a little bit so it'll feed in a little bit better. There we go. Now it'll go right in there and work just fine. And I was able to cut most of them at one time, which is awesome. Hey, Tamara. So I'm just guessing that's the R. I think it is. I haven't used these letters very often, but I do like that they're block like college letters, and they look a lot like the KHS we had on our uniforms. So it kind of mixes in nicely with that theme. So we need to do the O again and the S again, because we have KHS and we have roos, so we have to do both of those one more time. And then we'll do the other ones with the regular. And then I'll show you how they piece them together. But some of you probably already know because you've seen these kind of letters before. Mine are from the Sassy Club. I just really like them. So I thought, and they're perfect for what we're doing tonight. Now, I had a leftover piece. I'm going to see if I had cut off when I made my 6x6. So I'm going to see if I can get them all out of this piece. I think I can. So we're going to do that. There's my K, and there's my O. And then this is cutting the top layer of the letters. Ugh, I shook it when I picked it up. I'm not taping them down because as long as I hold it tight, it should cut them all without me having to tape it all down. That's just too much trouble for me tonight. I'm not feeling the taping it all down. So if I mess one up, you'll know that's why. I might have messed up the K because they look like they're overlapped. But we'll see. We'll see. Nope, it worked. So this is the H. It's kind of stuck there. The K came out. There's the O. We have to do a second O. And we have to do a second S. There's my K. There's my S. Oh, there it is. Here's my R. Well, I like that they stayed here instead of sticking to the die. It frustrates me when they stick to the die, but I'm too lazy to go get like something to put between them. That's a lazy. But that's the way I roll. Hey, Mom. Okay, there we go. All right. So that wasn't too bad. We only had to make, what, 4 cuts? 4 quick cuts. So there we go. All right, so now I am finished with these letters. I'm going to set them aside so I don't lose them because that would be a bummer of a deal. I'm going to put my, if I can get them back, it usually is not an issue. I'm going to move this back. I keep it on my desk, but not visual on my desk. So here's my pieces. I have my Barely Art glue here. This is my K. I'm going to use these tweezers. I'm going to put glue on the back of my K. And then I'm going to place it on top of here. So now you can see what I'm talking about by being that double layer that looks like a letter. So it matches really nicely with what we're doing. And then, of course, our trusty soda press helps hold everything still for us. Here's our H. And there we go. So these stamps, what I really wanted to show with this is how awesome it is that you can use your stamps you use for card making also in your scrapbooking. Because I know a lot of people were involved in some sport or another at some point in their childhood. So, or the grandkids or the kids or the, and so that's why I went with animals as the theme instead of people, because then you end up with a girl when you need a boy, and I wanted to prevent that, so make it useful for anyone. So there's an O. So these are not too bad to put together. But I love that they're so useful they're so universal. You can use them for anything that you want. So I love that. Hey, Patty. Welcome, welcome. We're making a scrapbook page. We already colored our image. But if you missed that part and you want to see it, you can always watch it on replay. I download them and upload them to YouTube right after I'm finished. And so you can always catch the replay, and I will put the color combos that I used in the description so you never have to guess. Yay, this was the right one. I wasn't sure. So there's my KHS. And like I said, we were the kangaroos, so we didn't say kangaroo was too hard to put in the cheer, so we just were called the Roos, R-O-O-S. So that's why I didn't cut out kangaroos, because we just said Roos. It was shorter and easier to fit in the cheer. So there it is, the Roos. I just got your order out, so it's on the way. Yay! Thank you, Patty. So here we go. Here are, yes, some pictures of yours truly. So I want to use all of the things. So let me see if this white background that we cut the letters out would look good behind. I think that would look really good. And why not use this paper? Even though I already cut those out of it, they cover up under the picture. So what we'll do is we'll just put this glue around the edge, and then I'll trim them after I put them over this. I'll trim them for the amount that I want around the pictures. That way I can have a border around my photos. Here's the other one. That one's going to be a little hard because I cut them a little wonky. So that one's not going to work, but that's okay. I still have more paper. So I'll just glue it to this one. There we go. And I'll do it right close to the edge, so I already have two of the sides ready to go. All right. And now I'm just going to trim the paper. Yes, yes, that is really me. Yes, yes, it is. I got it on there a little bit crooked, so I'm going to trim it to make it match up so it's not crooked. And there we go. No problem. That one is ready to go. Let's do this one. There we go. I probably didn't cut these pictures very well, but you know, it is what it is. That one looks pretty good. This one is a slightly off, so I gotta fix that one. And then the other one, this one's a little bit off as well. Ooh, I almost did that one too much. So there we go. Now we have our two pictures done. This is just a 6x6 page. You can do whatever size you want. You could add more photos and do whatever size you want. But I just wanted to do a little something that I could frame and put in my room. I let Dale choose which one of the photos he wanted on the picture frame. You guys want to know which one was his favorite? There's one more. This was the other one. I liked this one, but that one didn't make the cut. Yay, Ruth! You love those pictures? I know. You put them in my other scrapbook for me, my childhood scrapbook. She made a childhood scrapbook for me, and she put these same pictures in there. But this one is Dale's favorite. He's like, do that one, do that one. I was like, okay. So I did. And I'm not going to put my name. My name's on my shirt. We always had our name on our little emblem on the shirt. I'm not sure that was the best idea in the whole world. But it was what it was. I think I'm going to put her... yeah, I think I'm going to put her right here in the corner. It's super cute. I think I'm going to use the gel pen to do outline around the outside, but I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. I want this one maybe about right here. So it kind of covers the edge of the photograph. Like I said, I want to do a white border around the outside of this. So that's why I cut this to 6x6. So here we go. We got to put our KHS on here. Oh, I haven't said KHS in a really long time, but I sure said it a lot when I was younger. And then we have these, the pom-poms and the megaphone from from the ephemera set, which is pretty cool. So I'm definitely going to put that one there because I really like that it says cheer. And then let's put the words on there first and we'll figure out where to put the pom-poms. Because maybe I'll go down here because, and I'll move the megaphone over here. Because, you know, if I move this over, it'll be like the K-roos, like the kangaroos. We sometimes said K-roos. Put a little more space in there. If it fits down the side. Oh, I kind of like it like that. Right there. And then this goes here, and I think the pom-poms will be good right here. The top pom-poms. How cute is that? So fun. Now, let's glue them down. I'm going to start with the S so I can keep it as close to the bottom as I want. And I want it pretty close. I love this tool. It's so good for so many things. Oops, I dropped my glue. And this lines up pretty good because you can line up the edges, which I really like, so you can keep it straight. Perfectly straight. It's so fun. And you could do this with anything. Just think if you have little kids or grandkids that do football or basketball, you can make a little one like this with the little character, and you could color it in the color of your kids' school colors or grandkids or your husband's favorite team. You can put a picture of yourself on there, like, look at me, instead of that football game all day long. Just kidding. We don't do sports in my house, but I know some people do. I think I'm going to, like, wonky the letters, the KHS letters. Just because, yeah, why not? It's fun. And I bet you guys were surprised I said a scrapbook page tonight, because we don't usually do them. But I wanted to do something a little different, and this just struck me as the right thing to do. I think I'm going to put one pom-pom flat, and the other one I'm going to pop up. And I tried to do the pom-poms this girl has similar to that girl. But these have a little bit of black in them. These ones do. Let me see. Let me grab my pop dots so we can pop that up a little bit. I'll pop this one up. I could have used bigger ones, but I have an overabundance of these tiny ones, so I'm trying to get rid of them. I also thought maybe I might add, we cheered for basketball and football. I don't know if the basketball necessarily looks good on this because it's orange, and I don't know that it really matches, but I do think that the football would look really good on there, so I was thinking about adding the football, maybe in the corner, or maybe down here. I don't know. Somewhere. Maybe up here in the corner. Or maybe here. I don't know. What do y'all think? Could put it there. That'd be kind of cool. Underneath. I kind of like that. Or maybe we should put it over here. No, the cheer needs to go over here. I like this over there. So we're going to do that. We're going to put that right here. So I really like that. I think it's just being in cheerleading that I love the megaphone and stuff. See, I can put it under the S and over the O. I kind of like that. So that's where we're going to put that. Hey, Von Marie. Yes, get you a lovely soda press. I have 2 on my desk at all times. In case I can't locate the one that I want at the moment, I will use the other. So that way it never goes where I can't find my soda press because I have to have it. All right, so I put the little football on there like this was football season. And then I thought to finish it up, because it's so cute, that I would use this. I'm also going to use a sticker from here. I don't think teamwork makes the dream work actually fits right there. I think it's too big. But this little megaphone is so cute. I have to use it. I don't want to do Grand Slam. We went to the playoffs my senior year, but we did not win. And it was a very sad moment for all of us. I think I'm going to add this one up in the corner just because I just love it. It's cute. It gives an extra accent. And then I have this pen, which is the grabby acrylic marker, and I'm going to use that to make a little design around the outside, like just, you know, a little design to kind of decorate it up just a little bit more. It's freehand, so if you get nervous about that, then maybe you don't want to do that, but I don't mind because nobody really analyzes it. They just check it out and look at it and say, oh, cute, you know. And then I think I'm only going to do one side. I want it to look kind of special. So I'm just adding some doodles. If you watch us on Happy Crafty Ho Ho, you'll know that we do doodles often. So this is an idea of doodles. Just adding a little more accent to the picture to decorate it up. And you can do dots, you can do lines. I did squiggles on that side. I think I'll do lines on this one, just dashes, almost like a stitching. It just kind of gives a little variety on the page and a little bit extra accent. You could just embellish with, you know, whatever kind of little embellishments you have, but since I'm probably going to frame this, I didn't really want, you know, and put it in the craft room, I didn't really want to add any big embellishments, as that makes it a little bit harder to frame. But there is just a little bit of accent around those. You could even do like a little bit around here, just to kind of show a little bit of different fancy, just for the heck of it. And maybe I'll say, where is the, I thought I had go fight win on this, but I don't. No, I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. So it's just a small little scrapbook page of me when I was a cheerleader for the Kangaroos at Colleen High School. I thought it was fun. It gives you an idea. I could have used miscellaneous pictures so you guys could get an idea of what you could do for your kids or grandkids or whatever. But I decided to go all out and just do me. So I did me. That's me. That's what I look like with that crazy hair that we all had. Like, So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you will try and use them for things like this because this is just so sweet and special. Um, I'm going to upload this to YouTube for people who want to watch the replay. If you are actually watching the replay, please like and subscribe. And I will add the color combinations that I used for this. Sorry, I'm going to add this other football right here because I can't help myself. But I'll put all the color combinations so you can use them and you can practice if you need maroon. If you don't and you need a different color, then you could definitely check out the color combinations I have in the practice coloring books. Online, you can get them digital or you can get a book pre-made, however you want. But I hope you enjoyed this. After this, I will be over with Happy Crafty Ho Ho on their channel doing some creative stuff for tonight. So if you want to join us, come on over there. Otherwise, I will be back again on Thursday with a different project for, I will probably use the MVP stamp set since we have used the touchdown. We did the gorilla last Thursday. We did the cheerleader today, and look at how different it looks. So cute. And then we'll do the MVP set next, starting on Thursday. And I'll try to come up with some other cool idea to do with those. And I will see you then. And Drea put the link if you want to come join us at Crafty Ho Ho later. So, oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you guys, we only have, if you are a cat lover and you wanted our cat stamp set, you might want to grab it while you can because there are only 6 left in the shop. When they're gone, they're gone. So they're called Curious Kittens, and there's only 6 left. So I just wanted to give you the heads up. Have a great evening, and I will see you on Thursday. Love you guys. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Good night.